Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. First point, Akshay Tritiya. As it was told, Akshay means that which never is destroyed, which never reduces. And Tritiya, the way I am thinking right now, Tritiya means three. And what is three? That which is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, it is continuously changing. What is three? Gross body, subtle body, causal body, it's continuously changing. And what is the Akshaya? That which is never changing. This particular day is an opportunity for us to come back to that unchanging principle in spite of all the changing ones. Hari Om. Now we go to the Narasimha Bhagwan. Bolo Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Lord Narasimha is the fourth avatar of the Narayana. And as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And in fact, it is not only those special incarnations which we know as the 9 and the 10th one is coming, Kalki. But he is continuously in the form of sages, in the form of this satsang, he is continuously manifesting himself. But there are some special occasions where he appears. And here we see in this cycle of creation, there are times when some people become larger than life, have so much power and control that they are able to positively or negatively influence the society. Those who positively influence, they are called saints and sages. Those who negatively influence, they are called asuras or rakshasas. And such one was Hiranyakashipu. And this Hiranyakashipu, Hiranya means the one who is after the glitter. And that is our story. That when we are extroverted in life, we are after the glitter of the world, good clothes, good bed, good food, good ornaments, good cars, good houses, etc., etc. And when he became the master of the three worlds, he had ruled the three. What are the three worlds again? Don't think, oh my God, itna bada world, itna idhar hi hai. He had mastered the three world where what Akshay Tritiya was telling just now. The gross body, the subtle body and the causal body, both micro and macro. He has conquered it. And with that comes expansion of your ego. The ego becomes larger than required. And fortunately or unfortunately for him, fortunately for us, that when he was in the process of becoming immortal with body, just like Ravana also tried that. He was the first one, it was before Ravana. So he wanted to be immortal with body, which is not a possibility. But if someone has done such intense tapas, Brahmaji, he cannot say no. He gives him the Ashirvad, but he says, I cannot give you the blessings of immortality. Ask me something else. So he asks. What does he ask? He says, let me not be killed by man or animal. Let me not be killed inside or outside. Let me not be killed in day or night. Let me not be killed by a weapon or a missile. And in this way, all the options that he could think of to make himself invincible, he presents it in front of Brahmaji. And Brahmaji says, okay, tathastu. Now we have to understand, don't look only at Brahmaji and look at Hiranyakashipu. It is that one Narayana who alone, when he expresses through Rajas Shakti, he expresses Brahmaji. The same Narayana, when he expresses through Sattva, he expresses as Vishnu. And the same Narayana, when he expresses through the Tamas Shakti, he expresses as, or under the influence of Tamas Shakti, is called as Rudra, the destroyer. So that Narayana has given the Ashirvad, Tathastu, may you, whatever you have, so be. Now he has to sort the problem that he has created. And for that, the Prahlad is born. While he was gone, his child was conceived, and the child was kept in the, along with his mother, was kept in the Narada ashram, and there the child, even while he was in the womb, he was listening to Bhagavatam and the glory of Lord Vishnu and Narayana. And when he is born, the father comes, I want my son. He says, no, another 2 years, and then you take him, because your wife is here, she's enjoying it, the son is enjoying it, and then they will be there with you forever. But in those 2.5 years, a complete overhauling is done of our Prahladji. And Prahlad becomes the greatest, one of the greatest devotee from the Asuric side of Lord Narayana. Later on we see Bali, who is the grandson, great-grandson I think, or grandson of Prahladji. And he also became a great devotee. And in this manner, Prahlad, who is he? Throughout, now from the childhood, from the time he is conceived, from that time he is listening to Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Anyone who thinks and contemplates or remembers me exclusively. Exclusively means to the exclusion of everything else, he only remembers me. Amma was singing one bhajan. कौन सी प्रीति achaliti, undisturbed priti. That is this love. And once this love gets invoked in our heart, as in Prahlad, अविचल प्रीति, हाँ उसमें आया, बहुत सुंदर, मेरे को वर्ड एकदम क्लिक हो गया, अविचल प्रीति. तो that happens when any person starts chanting the name of the Lord, remembering the Lord, being in the vicinity of the Lord in his mind, have the bhav, as Swamiji was just now saying. As we keep cultivating it, somewhere along the way, sudden shift comes. And that shift is avichala priti. That you cannot live without loving the Lord to the exclusion of everything. In very scientific manner, it is called as what is that word? Ajapajap sthiti. It is very technically called ajapajap sthiti. But that ajapajap sthiti in the mind, where the Lord is remembering himself through the medium of your mind. देखो, तो when this type of condition comes about, it is, the student is, or the devotee is blessed. And Prahlad was one such. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. And then he says, yoga kshemam vahamyaham. That if anything, whatever you need in life, yoga, anything you need in life, I will provide, I will take care of it. Anything you have, I will take care of that. And the father sent his son to the Gurukul, and in the Gurukul he studied the scriptures, but there all the students became the devotees of Lord Vishnu rather than the devotees of Hiranyakashipu, because when you are the master of the three worlds and you have a boon that you cannot be killed because you have covered all the options, then he had started propagating all the temples in this world. He had removed the statue of Lord Vishnu and placed his own golden statue there, and everyone was chanting Om Hiranyakashapaya Namaha. The Gayatri mantra also, Hiranyakashapaya Namaha. Every mantra was following with Hiranyakashapaya Namaha. So this is the corruption that came about as a result of a big ego. And it had to be sorted out. That is the rule of the creation. When there is imbalance, the Lord comes to balance it out. And here the the excuse was brought about by the Lord through his own son, that is Prahlad. And he tries, after 1 year of school, he calls Prahlad, Prahlad, come home now. And Prahlad comes, gives homework to all the students that you keep chanting Om Narayanaya or Om Vishnave Namah, comes back. Very lovingly he picks him up, puts him on his lap. He says, tell me, what did you learn in the ashram, in the school? He says that Lord Vishnu is the greatest. Hari, kya bola tu? Oh, Lord Vishnu is the greatest. I am telling the whole world I am the greatest, and my son is saying Vishnu is the greatest. Blasphemy. They say, again send him back to the school and brainwash him. But in the process of brainwashing, the two teachers, they themselves lose their life because they try to kill Prahlad through some Shakti, invocation of Shakti, but that Shakti is not able to devour Prahlad. It goes and devours both the teachers, the young teachers. When Hiranyakashipu comes to know, he calls him and he says, what do you mean by Bhagwan? Well, Vishnu is everywhere. Where is he? He says, he is everywhere. He is inside you also, Dad. And Hiranyakashipu couldn't handle that Vishnu is from inside, he's inside me. In that anger, he tries n number of methods, which I am not going to enumerate here, n number of methods to kill his own son. What did Bhagwan say? Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. And the Lord protects him in whether he was thrown into the room full of poisonous snakes, whether he was thrown down the cliff, when he was put in front of a mad, drunken elephant, and everywhere he comes out unscathed. And when this level of frustration in Hiranyakashipu, meaning the ego, which feels it is the master of everything, it reached a certain level, he calls Prahlad and he says, where is your Bhagwan? I am going to, nobody is able to stay alive if they take the name of Vishnu, and you are my own son and you are taking the name of Vishnu in my own house, in my own palace. I am going to finish you. And the Prahlad is just looking at him, smiling, because when you are taking the name of the Lord, automatically at that level, only smile is there. He is looking at what he must be going through. He is not thinking about the dad, he is thinking about Lord Vishnu. And in that frustration, he takes out his sword and he hits on he says, is your Lord Vishnu in this inert pillar? He says, if he is everywhere, he must be in that pillar also. No doubt. And the Hiranyakashipu hits that pillar with his sword, and there comes the Narasimha Bhagwan, who is half man, half lion. I was thinking, she was telling me something in the car. The thought came, invoke the lion within you. Because it is necessary to destroy the negativities that inadvertently take control of us, or by choice we have cultivated those negativities by wrong information, whatever, and we need to invoke that rage. We need to invoke that bhishanata. We need to invoke that ugrata that our Narasimha Bhagwan is within us.
Gurudev Swami Shivananda used to always say, don't bleat like a lamb, roar
like a lion
of Vedanta.
Yes. There is a text called Vedanta Dindima, and that means the roar of Vedanta. And I'll conclude with this. हो गया ना टाइम मेरे ख्याल अच्छा so he breaks open, and there the Narasimha avatar, the Lord Narayana in the form of Narasimha appears. And yesterday I was giving a lecture at Iris Park, and there I was thinking, why pillar? Why didn't it hit a wall? Because pillar is straight. And yesterday this thought came, I'll just share it with you. That pillar is a representation of your spine. And because when you do any sadhana, it's an ego trip, man. So you are pumping the air, opening the channels, and as the 6 chakras open and the the spine is, the Kundalini is blasted open. What is the Sahasrar? Sahasrar is the appearance of the Mahavishnu in the form, here in Narasimha Jayanti, in the form of Lord Narasimha. And therefore the mantra says, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham. Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham means he is bright and he is burning through all the mouths. Mouths means through all the senses, through all the mind. Just like your mind is expressing in and through every thing and being in the dream. There is no place that your mind is not. It is pervading everything. So is true here also, that this consciousness that I am is pervading everything. But we are so, duality oriented, that we never put our attention on that. If we had put the attention on the Lord like Prahlad has, maybe that realization would dawn upon us. But so this thought came, and another way to put Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham is Om Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. That it is not that he is present through every outlet, he alone is working. Just like through every person in the dream, your mind alone is functioning. What is the material of the whole world in the dream? What is the material out of which the whole world is made? Your mind, your consciousness. Who is expressing through inert and sentient beings in the dream? You, your mind, which is consciousness alone. If we can bring that thought of the dream with this understanding, if we can bring it here in this waking, ho gaya, kaam tamam, story over.
Correct.
So, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram. And this Bhishanata, this Ugrata, it is auspicious. It is not destructive, it is auspicious. It brings balance, it brings paritranaya sadhunam and so on. It brings peace, it brings balance. And the last one is Mrityo Mrityum Namamyaham. And who is this Lord Narasimha who has appeared? He is the death of death itself. To him my salutations. So this consciousness that I am, not the ego fellow, but the Sahasra Shirsha. If we have realized that, if we have contemplated on that, if we have contemplated just now in one line, I told you how the dream experience is. If we can bring that, if we can keep our attention on, everything is out of me, now find out how, work towards it. Keep thinking, as someone, who was saying it, Swamiji was saying, I think, that initially you begin and slowly the love for that happens, and eventually the knowledge also takes place.
From bhav to anubhav.
Bhav to anubhav, that's right. Bhav to anubhav. So we have to have bhav. Being a husband is only a bhav. Being a father is only a bhav. So we have to move. Bhav is at the level of the mind. Anubhav is at the level of consciousness. And what anubhav we are talking about is not an anubhav of duality. This anubhav is experienceless experience. It is not that God is there and I am anubhaving. Oh, ho sakta hai. ऐसे नहीं, we are not saying it is not possible. That also happens. But here that bhav to anubhav is that experienceless experience, that is our essential nature. And Narasimha Jayanti comes in our life every year to remind us that don't be a doormat, don't be a poor me, pity me, bring out the manliness, bring out the ferociousness of purpose. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. ऐसे करने से कुछ नहीं चलता. If someone gives me food, I will eat. If someone doesn't give me food, I will not eat. ऐसे नहीं चलता. If you are wanting realization, if you are wanting to know that you are the infinite truth, then it has to be on a war footing. It has to be on a war footing. It cannot be little bit I will contemplate, little bit I will not. So that war footing is presented here as Narasimha Bhagwan, he who destroys. And when do we do the meditation? In our, what we are told do meditation during the Sandhya periods, isn't it? Sandhya is when? Neither day nor night. So what did Hiranyakashipu ask? Don't kill me, I should not be killed in day or night, inside or outside, up or down, by man or animal. And all those options that he had covered, thinking that that will make him immortal, Narasimha Bhagwan, in one moment, destroyed. He took him to the threshold of the palace. He knelt down and put him on his knee. He was neither down nor in air. Then he used his nails to tear open his heart. He did not use any weapon nor any missile. He used his own nails. He himself was neither a man nor an animal. He was a mixture of both. Narasimha. Narasimha. When you say Nara means man, Simha is lion. So bring out the lion in the man that you are. Then you can reach the ultimate. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrusimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityo Mrityum Namamyaham. This is the mantra of our dear Narasimha Bhagwan. There is nothing to be afraid of. His own wife, Narayana's wife, Lakshmi was afraid, Brahmaji was afraid, all the gods were afraid. And they all approached Lord Shiva and he said, ask Prahlad, he will calm him down. Because everyone else was shivering, because he was roaring away. The whole world was shaking because of his roar. See, when we listen to Shivanandji, when we listen to Chinmayanandji, when we listen to Ram Sukhdasji, when we listen to Chidanandji, so many masters, each one is roaring away. What is that roar? Is that roar because that is the truth. They cannot stop but express it. It expresses out of them. Spurna hai. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. Once it's clicked, you cannot stop it. And we see our Bharat is blessed with such great masters. Not one, two, hundreds of them. And we have all been fortunate to come across such great masters in our life who have, in their own way, paritranaya sadhunam, and re-established the dharma wherever they are living, in a small way, in a big way, in a grand way, like Vivekanandji, etc. But are we becoming one like them? Are we invoking the Lord in them? For that we have to do what? See, our problem, man's problem is, he wants name and fame, but he doesn't want consciousness. All these masters, they first realize themselves, and as a result of that realization, the service to the mankind that is happening is impromptu. It is happening. It is not a thought out destiny or action for them. It just happens. It's unstoppable. When you are happy, you will spread happiness. If you are frustrated, you will spread frustration. So realized masters are, as we said, happy masters. Or ever, Satchidanand Swarup. So may Lord Narasimha Bhagwan bless us to bring out this commitment, this ferociousness, but at the same time gentleness, and so that we can also come to be established on our own essential nature. Bolo Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai.
Swamiji, you mentioned about the dream and how in the dream the mind only is functioning. So all objects, every person in the dream is your mind only, right? That is in the dream state. But in the waking state also, it's exactly the same.
Same. That's what I'm saying.
That itself, that clarity when it hits, it's finished.
Then you are no longer.
Exactly.
Then the duality goes. And mind without thoughts is consciousness. So it is consciousness which is the material cause and the efficient cause of the whole creation. अब ये चीज, the mind as much as it may think, it cannot click. It only clicks by grace.
Pure grace.
Pure grace.
But then that mumukshatva I was discussing,
It has to be there.
Has to be there. Otherwise,
Not merely mumukshutva with blind, no, I want moksha, I want moksha, I want moksha. ऐसे नहीं. It has to be a proper systematic.
That's part of that sadhana.
But it is the first one. But it is the first one.
It is the first.
If you don't do any other three, if you have mumukshutva, automatically the three will fall in place. If the heart is in the right place.
बात ये है कि ये इसका फादर जो था
हिरण्यकशिपु
वो तो कुछ भी भगवान का नाम नहीं लेता था,
नहीं लेता था,
कुछ नहीं लेता था।
हाँ।
और वो मना करता था इसका, ये बार बार कहता था
हाँ,
कि मैं भगवान का ही नाम लूंगा। तो इसलिए भगवान को आना पड़ा कि ऐसे रूप में कि वो भगवान नहीं उसका।
देखो एक चीज आपको हम बताते हैं, जो बहुत पढ़े लिखे होते हैं ना, दे आर फिक्स, व्हेन दे थिंक अबाउट समथिंग they completely get involved in it, fixated. If they change their mind, like our Sureshwaracharya of Sringeri, who was Mandan Mishra, he was a Buddhist, he was a following the path of, he was Tantra.
Not Purva Mimamsa.
Whatever, Purva Mimamsa. But when he changed and got convinced, he got convinced for life. He got convinced for life. तो उसी तरह से हिरण्यकशिपु was a great achiever in his life. और जब उसको उसके बेटे ने बोला कि तुम्हारे अंदर भी वही विष्णु है, पहले तो उसने उसको मारने की कोशिश की, पर हर बार जब वो उसको मारने की कोशिश कर रहा था, उसका डर कि मेरे अंदर विष्णु है, मेरे अंदर, उसका जो विचार थे उसके मन में, पूरी दुनिया के अपनी सत्ता के छूट गए और उसका सिर्फ मन लगा रहा, विष्णु मेरे अंदर है, विष्णु मेरे अंदर है, विष्णु सब जगह है, विष्णु में। अब उसका मन कहाँ चला गया? विष्णु के ऊपर। तो एकाग्र हो गया, ही बिकेम सिंगल पॉइंटेड ऑन द विष्णु नेम। रावण को क्या था? रावण का भी तो यही हाल था,
रावण का भी तो वही है।
राम 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 करके ऊपर के वो राम के हाथ हो गया वो
रावण भी जो है।
तो ये जो रावण है दशमुख वाला, 5 इंद्रियां और 5 कर्मेंद्रियां, ये जो रावण है, ये जब तक राम का नाम नहीं लेगा या नारायण का नाम नहीं लेगा, अनन्याश्चिंतयन्तो माम, तब तक पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम, हर बार आके रिसाइकल होते रहो।
ये बताते भगवान बस सिचुएशन के लिए देखते रहते हैं, और फिर जब नहीं उन्हें लगता है कि अब ये तो विपरीत मामला ही है, तब भगवान फिर अपने आप आते हैं।
बिल्कुल। और ये हर क्षण हो रहा है,
हाँ,
हर युग में नहीं, हर क्षण हो रहा है,
हाँ,
हर क्षण हो रहा है,
हर परिस्थिति का
हर परिस्थिति, हर अनुभव, हर आप देख रहे हो, सुन रहे हो, जागृत में हो, स्वप्न में हो, हर जगह पे प्रभु आपको जगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, पर हम जागने को राजी नहीं है। तो जब हम जागने को राजी नहीं है तो भगवान क्या करेंगे? फाड़ दे।
कौन सी घड़ी नहीं है जब भगवान आपके साथ नहीं है?
बिल्कुल। देखो इस सृष्टि का एक नियम है, हम ये हिरण्यकशिपु की तरह हम दुनिया के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, पर दुनिया हाथ में पकड़ी नहीं जाती, और जो हमेशा हमारे साथ है उसको हम कभी ध्यान ही नहीं देते। कौन है वो? भगवान अपने हृदय में जो बैठे हुए हैं। सो वी आर रनिंग आफ्टर दैट विच वी कैन नेवर कैच, and we are not thinking of that which is always with us. This is our tragedy.
तभी तो हमारे ऋषि मुनि कहते हैं, हुई है वही जो राम रचि रखा।
हाँ, बिल्कुल। बस 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 बस, हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। अभी हम आध्यात्म रामायण ले रहे हैं। आध्यात्म रामायण में हर चीज शिव जी कहते हैं, मेरे को नारायण कौन है मेरे को नहीं पता, मेरे लिए तो राम है, मेरे तो राम है, राम ही नारायण है, राम ही नरसिम्हा है, राम ही सब अवतार है। मेरे लिए पुरुषोत्तम राम है, मेरे लिए पुरुषोत्तम नारायण नहीं है।
भगवान ने तो नहीं कहा कि मेरा नाम ये है,
नहीं, उन्होंने, पर ये हमारे शास्त्रों ने कहा है, हमने नहीं कहा, हमारे शास्त्रों ने कहा है, और शास्त्र हमारा प्रमाण है।
कोई भी एक तो ज्ञानी होगा जिसने नाम दिया
नहीं,
होगा
नहीं।
तो वो वही
ज्ञानी कोई नहीं है।
तो वो तभी तो
ये
शास्त्र में
भगवान ने ही नाम दिए हमारे उद्धार के लिए, क्योंकि पूरी सृष्टि तो उन्हीं में है। और वेद क्या हैं? वेदों में ही आता है नारायण सूक्तम, दुर्गा सूक्तम, श्री सूक्तम, ये वो। तो वेद क्या हैं? भगवान की सांस है। भगवान की सांस, किस भगवान की? नारायण भगवान की सांस है। तो शास्त्र हमने किसी आदमी ने नहीं बनाए, शास्त्र भगवान के हैं, भगवान के द्वारा आए हैं। ये क्या वो फिर उसमें डिटेल में जा सकते हैं, वो इट्स अ बिग स्टोरी।
Thank you, Swami.
हरिओम हरिओम।
Thank you so much.